from defeat, rebuild, etc. Mentally, who would be in a better place out of these two now? Because you look at the last 12 months and you go, they've rebuilt, they've got themselves, they've got the confidence back. Where would you place them?
They both got different mental aspects of it. Both of them have rebuilt in a sense and grown. So you got two guys that are experienced, they've been through different fights, they've boxed the same guy. Now, one guy put him down. Daniel put Alexander Usyk down, and Anthony Joshua wasn't able to do that. So there's a good kind of like different aspects of the fight when you look at the opponents they fought and the fact that they fought the same guy.
And there is Lennox Lewis. Big up England, big up. As he points out that Daniel Dubois was able to drop Alexander Usyk where Anthony Joshua was not. And let me counterpunch. Over the years, Lennox Lewis he's went from AJ blatant hater to AJ subtle hater. Okay, if you notice, for one, if you believe that Danny Dubois put Alexander Usyk down is one thing. But to point out something so contradicting, so contentious, like a punch below the belly button, a punch on the belt line, a punch that was viewed as a foul, to bring that up in comparison to a fight with Anthony Joshua that fought Alexander Usyk twice is downright petty. You know what I mean? He brought that up to say, hey, Danny Dubois put Usyk down. Anthony Joshua couldn't. You see what I mean? So it was it's like those things. Those are subtle things. He didn't say, oh, nothing's good or bad. I'm not saying that. Well, what he's saying is Danny Dubois has the upper hand simply because he was able to do something to a whole nother other fighter that fighter that he's fighting also fought. That's all he's really saying. And it is almost like, okay, Lennox, he's appeared more guiding of aiding to AJ, but he only does that when AJ gets pissed off and does or says something about him. That's when he's like, hey, we should just squash this and give me a call. That type of stuff, But, him picking Dubois, I think, is warranted. I think, he favors Dubois anything besides AJ, you know what I mean, or anybody besides AJ. And I just think, over the years, Lennox Lewis, has proved that he's still bitter about AJ's professional choices. AJ's been with Eddie Hearn since he signed with Eddie Hearn. He ain't been with Eddie Hearn, then Frank Warren, then Luda Bella, then Al Heyman. No, he's been with Eddie Hearn throughout his career. And I think Lennox Lewis is like retroactively thinking like Oscar De La Hoya. Meaning, Oscar De La Hoya, everyone knows that Oscar and Canelo are not friends. He used to be his trainer. He looked at him as a family member at one point. Now they hate each other. Well, Oscar hates the idea of Canelo winning because Oscar wanted to ride that wave like Anthony Joshua and Eddie are doing, right? And I think Lennox Lewis looks at that relationship and envies it. That's what I honestly feel. I think, it's deeper rooted because Lennox Lewis brought Anthony Joshua after he won the Olympic gold and offered him an opportunity with Fox and Al Heyman and PBC, and Lennox Lewis managed him. And that just didn't happen. AJ was like, okay, cool. Haha, we'll see. I'll get it. I'll stay in touch. Then went back to the UK and signed with Eddie Hearn. That pissed Lennox Lewis off. That's what I think is the overall backstory of Lennox Lewis. I think because of that and because he became so successful with Eddie, that also builds more resentment. You see what I mean? See, it builds more resentment when someone denies you or rejects you, and then you go and later on you see they're still doing good or better than expected, or matter of fact, better than you. Ouch. But you guys tell me what you think of Lennox Lewis stating that Dubois did something that AJ couldn't do to Alexander Usyk, put him down to the floor. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace!